naanị gị kwesịrị izi otuto. Ị na-agbanwe ọnwụ bịara igbu m, chi eluigwe, ị na-enye ndụ. Ị na-agbanwe ọnwụ bịara igbu m, chi eluigwe, ị na-enye ndụ. Sọ gị bụ mmụọ na-eri mmụọ, oke mmụọ na-eri oke aja. Sọ gị onye dị elu, Chukwu dị elu karịa ihe dị elu. Sọ gị ọ bụghị kwesịrị iri otuto. Jigide m, onye nwe m Jizọs, jigide m, jigide m aka, jigide m, onye nwe m Jizọs, jigide m, jigide m aka. Ọsọ gị ke m gaba, nye m ike ka m wee merie ụwa. Nye m ike oge niile ka m garịda. Onye ike mgbe onye ike, aka dọwara agụ ọnụ. Onye ike mgbe onye ike, aka dọwara agụ ọnụ. Onye ike ọdịmma na-eme mma, aka dọwara agụ ọnụ. Onye ike ebube dike, aka dọwara agụ ọnụ. Ịtọ n'ime ofu dị ngọzi, ịtọ n'ime ofu dị ngọzi. Jesu nke nwa na nwa na mmụọ nsọ, ịtọ n'ime ofu dị ngọzi. Jesu nke nwa na nwa na mmụọ nsọ bụ ịtọ n'ime ofu dị ngọzi. My lifetime, I will give God my lifetime. When I give God my lifetime, He will take care of me. He will never, never let me down. I will give God my lifetime. Oh, when I give God my lifetime, He will take care of me. He will never, never let me down. Yeah, I will give God my lifetime. Oh, when I give God my lifetime, you live a little while. You never, never let me down. I will give God my lifetime. Izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama, izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama onye meligwe mo, izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama onye meligwe mo, izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama onye meligwe mo, izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama onye meligwe mo, izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama onye meligwe mo, izuru kama onye meligwe, izuru kama onye meligwe mo, izuru kama dike n'onwe ya, ozuru kama onye meligwe mo, izuru kama onye maligwa, izuru kama Chineke m, izuru kama Igbo bụ Igbo birikwana ya ụtụtụ ọma, ehihie ọma, mgbede ọma, depending your time zone. Anyị ya dịka echi, maka na echi adịghị agwụ ka anyị na-agwa ya. Ọ bụrụ na isonyebụ, what are you waiting for? Click the like button, subscribe, comment, share. Ife anyị na-ekwu na nke ikpeazụ oyi elu oyi. If you are just coming across our channel for the very first time, you are welcome. This is Kelenna TV. We are live and we are direct, bringing you the gospel of redemption by your doorstep. If I make for common sense, the reason I'm running my ife. If I can't gas school, I'm a kivin a chef kaiji another. I just want to make common sense as always. Jenaduru Norian Esther Norian Nwaba Norian Stephen Norian Chizoba Norian Chinamere, greetings from here. Amere, no, I'm good. Chizoba, no, Yenaduru, no, Rienna, greetings from here. Amakamele is a chiokiket, while I know, Imana. Nzu na-eme ọgwụ ọdịire. Okwu egwuchara ṅụọ iyi ka m na-agwa ya. Okwu egwuchara ṅụọ iyi ọ dị n'ọfọ. Enigwe ya atụlụ izu n'ọgwụ. All lovers of truth, all supporters of truth, Amaka meela ụlọ ncha. Anyị jebe anyị ga-ejeru. Anyị naba ya naru. Wọsị njọ kwụọ m mpụ anyị ilo. Maka na aka eze Chiobike abịa mmadụ ike dị ire. Ọ nọ n'ọrụ ka m na-agwa ya. Adịghị esi ya ngọ. Dial 8709 Norienne Zion Pikin Norienne Machie Norienne Amakabale. We are here and we are live and we are direct. Stephen Norienne Machie Dalorienne Stephen Dalorienne. Akwụkwọ nsọ sị na onye ọbụla gọziri anyị n'eluigwe ya agọzi ya. Wee na-ekwu na onye ọbụla kọchara anyị n'eluigwe ya akọchi ya. Ike gwụrụ Bongo. There is a breaking news that I am seeing now. But I would like to bring the breaking news before Banarim for it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the answer. And some of you, when you hear that he is the answer, Gamanie, oh, onye ndu, abụrụ na abụrụ onye ndu, enwere onwe. Onye ndu, mba. We are coming from a different perspective, more than this way, from a different angle. Consistency is the key. And the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been very, very consistent. Kana were very, very consistent. He have been here. Okay, Yoruba Pata. He is still here. Okay, Yoruba Waro. When he compares Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with the politicians that we have, you will know that he is the savior. He can be trusted more than the politicians. Do you know why? He can be trusted. He is blameless. He is a blameless man. And the powers that be know that he is an upright man. The powers that be, they know that he is an upright man. So if I if I want to rule for that they may jail the Son of Man. He is a blameless man. That is why he can boldly, without fear or favor, stand before any politician. Oliver truth must be told. No, the truth must be told. Yes. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a blameless man. Very blameless. That is why he can stand before anybody. That he know to be truth. You may not like it, but that is the truth. Can you compare him and his boldness, his audacity? Can you compare it with any politician? Elizabeth, no, you cannot compare his boldness, his sagacity. You got to go now. His truthfulness, his pomposity. You cannot bargain with any of the politician because he is a blameless man. They know why he have no boss. He is a respecter of no man. That is, he can give respect because of age. But because let me respect him because he is my boss. Oliver no, Ojugochukwu no. Oya wetara ndị iro ji agba ya mgba. Oya wetara anyị ji agba gị that he can be trusted. Presently, he can stand before anybody and tell the person as he be him. He is not afraid. Makim leak here his secret. He have no secret. In fact, if you know his secret, you bring it out. But how about the politicians? No wonder Mazi Nnamdi called to be a distraction. And you will understand that because we want to go straight to the point. But there is something that I was telling you about all these activists. Now, this is the barrister that woman called upon that time. Then Iguere TV said, breaking barrister Macha set the record straight over allegations leveled against him by Trexty Ohiri and $70,000 payment saga. All of them human rights activists. The reason why Fanchani Neji Webota or that brought them to social media or to limelight is the same thing that brought out those pastors. But what do you have? Now you despised those pastors so much. But you don't know that many of these guys, they are more deadly than Ndeji Bongo. In fact, some of them, they are even more deadly than the pastors. They have the platform. People can listen to them. They are a lawyer. They have the gang. You know what? So now let us go. Because I am on board here because tomorrow will fundraising. Tomorrow will fundraising. And you must make sure you support and join that fundraising. My attention has been drawn to the falsehood being spilled by Mix Trexie Ohiri. Indeed, the fact that you helped a viper out of a ditch does not stop the snake from biting you. Nwaanyị pụtara ebe ize enyemaka abụrụgo a viper. A woman pụtara ebe ize enyemaka and did not bother to contact him in the first place. She is now a viper. Ọ bụ a lawyer. Ọ ga-achọrọ ezigbo English wee kootuo ya ngaghị abụ enyi ya ịbịa ntị. Frank nnọọ. Ọ ga-achọ ezigbo English wee kootuo ya enuzie ya ịbịa ntị. Nwaanyị pụtara ebe ịchọ enyemaka abụrụgo viper. Let's continue. Stop the snake from biting you. It is an undeniable fact that I was the person that rallied public inspirited individuals like distinguished Senator Ireti King Gibe, the very dark man, Comrade Omoyele Sowore, Flag Boy NG, Comrade Larry, and several other comrades to her age. These are typical Bongolian. Ndị call their attention to that very matter. Ogobagogi ya nwere akwa. No, without him, a very dark man amamputa. Now without him, Omoyele Sowore amamputa. Oh, if one akoroge na. Mana omaro na ife doctor in the first place, na the system. Wetara the system mere nwaanyị ji wedi helpless is what to blame. Ọ na-akpọzi individual comrades. Ọ neke n'obodo Bongo ka comrade dị better than a system. They will choose a comrade that is working over a functioning system. Because the comrade somehow can drop waja. Okay? Our focus was that on no account should state apparatus be deployed to gang-free speech. It was an account of our continuous activism that Miss Ohiri is not in prison. History. No, no, prison. It is not about the system. It is not. It is not about the system. It is about their help. As if they are as if they are spirit. No family, no prison, which is true. But over a system now, she have nothing to do with prison. But somehow he is now praising themselves. Let us continue. Okay, I led other activists, lawyers to move her bail orally as a lawyer. Okay, even while bail was granted, there was a long standoff, a lucid ploy to send her to prison at all costs. On our history, we eventually succeeded and helped her escape prison. Now, this is a typical Bongolian. Injustice. The woman. The woman now the reason the woman is because of injustice. Now that injustice that made the woman to cry is now justifiable. He is now praising the part they have played. He is now blaming. He is not blaming the injustice. No. He is blaming the woman for raising an alarm. He is now saying, "He carry no prison." When the question, "Buzi, why ya or was in on a prison?" Mazi Nnamdi Kanu fine. Currently, he is still standing Gidiba. No Bongolian can save you, except people like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and Dr. Ngozi Orebeze. They are the only people that can save you. They don't need your money. They only need your money to help you. They don't need your money to be rich. Onye nke a na-arapụzie injustice, because he saw injustice before, but now injustice had to go by the side. He is now telling the woman the part he played. That is why here they are like these pastors that came. I grow up in many of them activists. That is the truth. He have abandoned the truth that made the woman to want to seek justice. He is now telling the woman the part played. So without them, the woman can because it's Bongo. Man on the justifiable. Now why that has no case to answer Ghana and Ghana. Let us continue. Distinguished Senator Ireti Kingibe tried to broker peace and mediate, but she informed me that Mr. Omahi insisted that he was not owing her and would not pay unless she can establish the existence of a contract between them. Okay? Obtagimi defend the Omahi. These are Bongolians. I spoke to Senator Omahi with Mommy Ireti's phone. He was adamant. He promised he would exhaust the full judicial process to clear his name. Promised to pay her in tenfold if the court ruled that he owns her, but unless that, she would face the full wrath of the law. We rescheduled a meeting, and I promised to revert back upon speaking with Miss Ohiri. When I spoke with her, I explained the entire situation to her and explained that she has two options. She either fight on or exploit settlement. If she elects to fight on, we would fight with her, but she must provide necessary evidence on core issues. I discovered that there was no single real evidence of any constructual agreement between her and the minister. A lawyer over there before Mamta na street protest or confirm from the woman as a lawyer. Before join the street, evidence. That is as a lawyer, can him a mistake. Or do evidence, but after mediation. Refugee, there is no evidence. When I say lawyer, no evidence before that. Man, on actually deny let us continue to read. Contractual agreement between her and the minister that there was no evidence that the minister even engaged her to do any contract. Oh, these are activists. There were any evidence that the minister even contacted the woman in the first place. There were any evidence at all. The question was, can you forge a weapon? Nobody is as a lawyer. Why would you do that? Bongo lawyer or laggy. Okay. That there was no evidence that the minister even engaged her to do any contract, and that there was no evidence that the minister ever informed her that what happened to the Nelan engineers will happen to her. Oh, if you can call me, well, are those the owners or the friends and the family of the Nelan engineers? They are now doing protests. So your argument hold no water. That Nelan engineers. I have heard of that case for many, many years ago. They went to Ebonyi State many, many years ago for road construction. They had an argument with the government of the then, with the government of the day then, and the 5 engineers disappeared from Ebonyi State, a wafer. I have heard of this case many, many years ago. In fact, some days ago, the owners of those engineers, they staged protest in Abuja. I am aware of that case. I know of that case many, many years ago. Many, many years ago. So this lawyer, if I want to come by this engineer, Kelena TV, I know of that case many years ago, some years ago. I know of that case. And currently, they have protested in Abuja over the same case. 5 engineers got a euro. They disappeared up to date. 5 engineers. 5 engineers got a euro. Okay, what governor of that state? They staged protests few days ago. Even Omoyele Sowore he is talking about now. Omoyele Sowore was somehow involved. I know of the case. 5 engineers. I have heard of it. I have really. If an eman over the Bongo, this is both in Nafan or Shishiburo untouchable. They have really done more harm than good. 5 engineers, garage in Ebonyi State that year. Fancha Fruity today. It's over 4 years now. Their family and friends nominated. Yaka lawyer actually AG, whatever may be wrong. Me, know about the case. Okay, let us continue to read. To her, and she could not show a single evidence that she delivered. Okay, let me take this part again. Ever informed her that what happened to the Netherlands engineers would happen to her? You can explain entire. Wherever this engineer matters. And she could not show a single evidence that she delivered the goods to the minister's house as she claimed. Meanwhile, Mr. Umahi already filed several matters in Ebonyi State against her when she eventually decided, she said she does not want to go to Ebonyi State and that she would not mind peace. We had a follow-up meeting with the minister, lawyer, Mr. Abdusan, and the minister's friend, Barrister Joseph Eku Mankama, Senator Ireti, Mistress, her husband, and I, Macha Abubakar in attendance. The meeting ended in a statement. Mr. Ohiris has a terrible temper, and the manner she threw tantrums and insult at everyone in that meeting. Thus, it ended on a sour note, a sour note, a sour note. We all left. When the reality of what she had done dawned on her, she called and started begging. I told her clearly she had chosen war and advised that she get the evidence to prove her allegations. She pleaded and pleaded that I should not abandon her. She said she cannot go to Ebonyi and that she is scared of Mr. Omai. At long last, at long last, she offers to apologize. Mr. Omai insisted that he would not pay a dime unless she can show the existence of communication between them. Prior to 2023, I reached out to Barrister Joseph, who himself was a former minister, and he offered to raise some money if she would recount the false allegation. Otherwise, I should allow her face the music. Chai! Ndị Bongo. Ndị Bongo. Ọ bụrụzie na ọ sị that he can raise some money to settle a woman that did nothing to the minister, or to settle a woman that did not execute any job to the minister. I mean, the minister just want to give her money. They just want to give her small money. No, she did no job. The friend of the minister decided if she can apologize to the minister, that he is going to raise some money to give her. So somebody can just cook up story. Eh? Somebody can just cook up story. They are the minister. Where are the minister? Okay. They are more deadly than the people owing you money. You see all these activists. I said it here before. Some of you don't understand. They are lawyers. They are more deadly than the people owing you money. In fact, that woman I talked to, I informed her of the decision. I told her, I do not like getting involved in money matters. You do not like getting involved in money matters, but you jumped in and begin protesting. Then why did you get yourself involved in a protest? Child, after protesting, now you don't like get involved in money matter, but you involved some activists, some comrades. Why did you involve them? Now money matter. Okay, you never knew. No money matter. I informed her of the decision. I told her that I do not like getting involved in money matters because of the bad blood it normally generates. She said she cannot meet them because she is scared. I told her defamation under Nigeria law is both a crime and don't use wrong. Though I have been at the vanguard of championing the fight to discriminate free speech, but it is still the law. She admitted she had no evidence and agreed to recant so long as the court process against her would be terminated. They agreed to terminate. It was Barrister Joseph that gave me a total sum of $17,000 to give to her. He informed me that it is not compensation for any contract. Rather, neither was it admission that they were owing her, but just for the sake of peace. For the sake of peace. For the sake of peace. For just to settle the woman. KG where is it $17,000? Imagine. Hey, what a generous Congolanians. $70,000. Just to settle a woman. Over like this now. Kelina TV can wake up tomorrow and be dragging anybody so that I can get $70,000. These guys, you know the funny thing? They think that they are talking to this. Kelina TV know that these activists, some of them is more deadly than Bongolian politicians. That is the truth. Am I communicating? Am I communicating? Am I communicating? A mere allegation. He raised $70,000 for this woman. It is not for any work. It is not for any part payment. It is just for settlement. The reason why they are going here now breaking news, can you join that I told you before? Some of these activists, they are deadly. Let me take that part again. They agreed to terminate. It was Barrister Joseph that gave me a total sum of $70,000 to give to her. He informed me that it is not compensation for any contract, neither was it admission that they were owing her, but just for the sake of peace. For the sake of peace, $70,000, and my mediating approach. Very wonderful mediator. Your mediating approach to this issue, Barrister Joseph Akuman Kama, is still alive and they can be contacted for verification. It is to be noted that in all of this, I never sought for any pecuniary gains for myself. Hey, yo, what on this? Barrister Joseph and the Senator Omahi can confirm that even when money for cola nut and the fuel in dollars we are offered, I politely turned it down, insisting that helping her find peace was my ultimate concern. Sadly, Miss Ohiri has fought every of my comrades and the persons that stood in her defense. She throws tantrum, lie spontaneously, quickly turn friends, allies to foes. Her anger is that I could not get 300 million for her. I explained to her that her initial claim was for 25 million naira. 100 million naira is far above that. And explained to her that her initial, explained to her even a court of law would most likely not award her that much, even if she could establish her claim. She told me that she had her international lawyer that would help her get much more, and I wish her luck. She promised to drag my name online unless I beat them to pay her 300 million, and that she had lost business. Thus, I must be held responsible and must provide her money. It is so sad that a woman who put in our best defending at the expense of our lives and liberty could turn out to be this. We befriended a scorpion and got a life lesson. I will surely appraise the situation and take the appropriate legal actions against Miss Ohiri. Miss Ohiri also know ya before court. Upon I forget, ihe abụ ndị Bongolian activists. Bongolian activists. Ife abụ Bongolian activists. Kwefere ihe a na-akọ. Fashion fan akọrọ bịa chi Kelena TV know that many of them they are more deadly than politicians. Now, Umahi na drag ya, the woman, onye nke a na drag ya, before a man ihe na-eme nwaanyị agbọrọ ma nwụrụ. That is that. If you will take her careful, what we told you before, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can stand boldly before any politician. We are that you know to be truth. Getting a social media. Now let us move. Let us listen to this brother. Somewhere one half of his program, somebody shared. Now X. Let us listen to it. And they draw the curtain quickly.
For a state to exist, modern international law has created a special lane for governments in exile. 1. Recognition without land control. A government in exile can be recognized by other countries, even if it controls 0% of the land, provided it can prove it is the legitimate representative of the people. The legal fiction rule, international law, allows other nations to treat a government in exile as if it were the real government if the current government in power is seen as illegal, unconstitutional, or as an occupier. Example, during World War II, many European governments, like Poland and Norway, were recognized by the UK and US while they were in London, with 0% control of their home territory. 2. What matters more than land? The 21st century value. Since 2024, world powers, like the US or EU, look for 3 things to justify giving a government in exile diplomatic status. The national will, mandate. You must prove the people support you. This is why a peaceful declaration, like the one on November 29, 2024, is valuable. It sets a legal starting point for a civilian mandate. Administrative presence. Do you have a functioning cabinet? Can you issue official documents, ID cards, passports? If a government in exile can perform these tasks, it shows they are a state in waiting, rather than just a protest group. Diplomatic recognition by at least one power. Once one major country, like the US or a member of the EU, recognizes the government in exile, it becomes much easier for others to follow. This is often called constitutive recognition.
Okay. If you want to go about recognition, or the ma, bori ife ziri ezi, n'anya Chukwu, n'anya mmadụ, na ị gara weta your ID. Mee 30 years na-abịa, i were ya na-ekpe ekpere, ijide the ID na-ekpe ekpere, ị na-agwa ancestors okwu fana na this age na anyị ekwugidego okwu nwere onwe jide ID n'ọrụ, ọnwekwa ebe fa esi ya etinye aka ma tinye aka ka ife anyị na-arịọ ka o ruo anyị aka. That is that. Now, let us go to the program that brought me. Obi is a distraction. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the answer. This is Omoyele Sowore. He said here that he was ready to lead the protest. Touch the like button. He said that he was ready to lead the protest for Obi. Then Akaneme Obi will that Obi was not ready. The question is, why Obi are ready? Onwero a politician Obodo Bongo that don't have ugly record or that do not have corruption case. Every Bongolian politician is corrupt. The reason, in my own opinion, the reason he backed down, he is fearful. And there is no politician in Obodo Bongo that is not corrupt. So you must not be fearful and you must be corruption free before you can stand your ground like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing. So Obi back down, he is fearful. And he know every Bongolian politician is corrupt. Politician so onanya for maybe no push you. What will you expect him to do? He is going to back down. So when he said it here, he was ready. The news in the social media, Bongolians ran out in their numbers. What they wanted him to do is to tell them, for him to tell them to protest. He said, no, leave it. Let us follow court. The same person is positioning himself like 2027. These fearful people must not be listened to. They are corrupt. He is a distraction. That is why. Do you know why? Farmer, that we are not going the same direction. Obi is going to different direction. And direction he is fearful. And allegedly, he may be corrupt. So nobody sent him. The only thing that is the truth. But now, never, they cannot look his face. So he is a distraction. All Bongolian politicians, they are corrupt. Obi Arabugo nke nwanne party nwanne ono. Ebe ono si na abona ke ife na agba coalition or ife ono. Now let us listen.
What happened to you? What happens to your ambition to lead your own country? Go to France, it's people your age that are ministers. Go to Senegal here. There is nobody in Senegal that is 70 years old.
Okay.
Except retirees. So what happens to you? If you are telling me that even this K Hikers Club cannot run Nigeria, I'll give up. The people here in this room, if we can't find a minister of finance who can run a financial model that will make this country prosper and transparent, I'll give up. If there's no lawyer here who can be the minister of justice and administer justice properly, I'll give up. If there's nobody here who can run the Senate better than Akpabio, I'll give up. And if there's nobody here who can be a president of country, who can do a better job than Tinubu, I'll give up. Why must you keep talking about people who have tested themselves, failed themselves, and failed?
People that have tested themselves and they failed. That is why I am standing against anything that have to do with Imam Madwabo and the CRC. Because they have tested themselves and they failed woefully. Where did they fail? They followed Ogechukwu Nkere. They failed woefully. Now they created CRC BGC because of the failure of Brigi of Ogechukwu Nkere. Now they want me to come and be speaking with them. I cannot. They have texted themselves and they have failed. So they don't have anything to offer. They should go and sit down.
And confess to you that they are discussing how not to fail again. That is what I hear from the people you keep referring me to. I don't look backwards because contrary to what some of you must have heard about me, I've done everything before, not activism. I was an entrepreneur who started a company in the middle of New York that became a global brand, Sahara Reporters. It's 20 years old. There was a time the company was said to be worth $10 million. I don't have $10, but that's the what. So what do you want to tell me about how to create, manage, and sustain structures? So, and what is wrong? And I'm saying this because it hurts me badly that my college, that is university, all students associations, our alumni, only sent very archaic jokes. There's nobody who I graduated with who has a political ambition in this country, only complaining. If you go to your high school WhatsApp group, it's the same thing. And I keep asking, what is wrong with us? What is wrong with ambition? What is wrong with ambition? Why can't we have somebody who is 35 years old who is planning to be president of Nigeria in 2027? Why does it have to be somebody who doesn't even know his age?
Okay.
Somebody.
Oh yeah, but that corruption, that corruption. They lie for everything. The only thing guys are able to. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can boldly stand before them all and lambast them. It was he is not corrupt. His case file. He must be genuine. He must be sincere. Whiter than white.
Who doesn't know where he went to school? Somebody who doesn't have a certificate. Somebody who has a global criminal record that he's preventing from being released from the USA.
Okay.
That is the person you want to be discussing with me. Or the guys who were governors for 8 years, and you cannot go and spend vacation in the state they govern. If they themselves do not stay in those states after they finish their governorship, they will leave the next day. How can you govern a state for 8 years and you can't live there? Okay. You go and live in another state governed by another person. We shouldn't be proud of that. We should be proud of people who are governors.
But we are not in America now. In fact, Kona hand the over Kona boss on the engine again. Will be a channel to Kanam Brady. Dalorian Boemana. Obi Keriana, we will be an channel to a boss of Bana, or not Banambra.
8 years in their state, and they stay there and ask you to come to my states and live with me because they have transformed the state. The reason I'm responding this way, of course, you all know I'm passionate. I'm just coming from courts today. This is my second court hearing, criminal trial in 2 days. Okay. Simply because I'm asking for the country to be better governed. Nothing more. I didn't steal anybody's goats. I did not kill anybody's child. I've never done a contract before. It's not before the EFCC.
Okay.
They are trying me for cyber crime because I said govern this country properly. That's all.
Thank you for saying just pull it down to one. So yesterday on the news, I noticed that Nigeria's talking about doing universal health coverage on everybody, making people have to pay for health care. I don't know if y'all are paying attention to this because it's going to tap everybody's pockets.
Yeah.
Kids, this is something from, of course, the Western world, right? My question to you is this. Nigeria is discussing expanding universal health insurance coverage, which y'all are going to have to pay for, right? Through the National Health Insurance Authority.
Yes.
However, many hospitals lack equipment, emergency capability, and trained staff. Should Nigeria focus first on fixing the hospital's infrastructure and emergency care systems before expanding?
Onye na-asụkwa oyibo a na-abịa bụ mgberi ya nọ. To ha now, ife ọ na-asụ n'English, American accent ka ọ bụ British accent na ọ dị mma. Onye ji enwe ọkụ, onwe dị running water, heat na-egbu ya. Ọgbata na fuel, lee na ihe ọ na ya na-agụ. News na-ege ntị.
Insurance coverage, because you are asking people to pay for something that is not there.
Pretenders.
Scribe is how 4 million people turn processes into step-by-step guides. The hardest.
Thank you. So Nigeria has 3 levels of healthcare system. There's a primary, there's a secondary, and there's a tertiary. The tertiary is what they call the university teaching hospitals. The first 2 has collapsed. The third one is on the verge of total collapse. There is nowhere in Nigeria where Nigerian leaders, there's no hospital in Nigeria that the Nigerian leader can walk into to be treated. They don't even trust the hospital. In fact, Nigerian leaders can't allow themselves to be embalmed after they die in a Nigerian hospital. They can't preserve even their body. The last president who died in Nigeria, former president, died in London, embalmed there. He was a Muslim, then they brought his body to be interned in Katsina. The question is, should we not fix it first? Of course. And our position, my position, is not even insurance system. I lived in the US for 20 years. Insurance in itself, slow death for anybody who is sick and poor. That is why your congressmen have the best insurance policy. Then the people shitty insurance policy. We are for free healthcare. The Nigerian people haven't gotten to a point where you have people, 100 million out of 200 million people living under $1 per day, who can afford the kind of health insurance that is killing people in your country, the US. I'm assuming, based on the way you're speaking, that you come from Trump's country. Don't announce it in public here. Because Trump has screwed up the US so bad, nobody loves that country.
Trump country,
anymore. But so for us, it's to build from the bottom up, to build primary healthcare for the rural areas, secondary general hospitals for towns and cities, and to equip the tertiary institutions not to treat people for malaria headache, for research, because that's where the solution lies with tertiary institution healthcare system. It's for research. It's for to look at very complex diseases as they imagine and the triage for how to treat them and pass them on to primary, secondary healthcare system. So the problem is that the Nigerian leaders here are not interested in building hospitals because they don't go to hospitals here.
Exactly.
They are not interested in building schools because their children don't go to school here. They are interested in building houses for judges because they need the judges to survive the cause of justice. That is what Nigeria is about, and that's what we always say, which ties to my first question, that I can't identify with the guys who failed this country up to this. Nobody can appeal to me.
I cannot identify with Eggman and these gangsters. Do you know why? They have failed before. I cannot recycle failure. That is just all. That is why I am standing my ground.
That you're a governor, president for 10 years. You can't build a hospital that you, the president yourself, can go to. You are governor, you don't have one hospital in your state where somebody can walk in and get cured of headache. I'm not talking about any complex disease or malaria. Most Nigerians treat themselves with a variety of things, They treat themselves with herbs. If it doesn't work, they put together some medicine, whether it works or not. And if it doesn't work, they submit themselves to pastors. or imams who are worse than those ones are sick themselves.
Okay.
And when they are sick, they don't drink anointing oil. They travel abroad with the money of the poor to treat themselves. They don't wait for God when they are sick. But when you are sick in their church, they give you a handkerchief and pour anointing oil on it. The oil is from a person who doesn't even know God. Countries like Italy produce the best anointing oil. They don't care about God. It's for cooking. But the pastors pour it on you so that you can die. And you can go to the heaven he doesn't want to go to.
But you and I both understand. Thank you. I know it's not so much a question. Both of us know that what that means when they start taking this money out of the layperson's check. And they passing these laws without even the layperson even thinking about it. So once you have to, each person in here have to pay for this universal health care, but there's no hospitals like you said. What happens? Where's the money?
What I'm worried about is that this universal healthcare insurance that you're talking about is not even a Nigerian version of any health insurance. It is the US coming in to steal our personal information. Yes, this emerged from the US recently. It is an agreement between the US government and the Nigerian government to take the personal information of Nigerians as they collect your insurance information. Okay. And then you become a guinea pig in their international experiment. Sadly.
I must commend you for your consistency and for trying to timeless. Thank you very much. And okay, from the trending stories we had in the last weeks, about the Minister of Works, David Umahi, and Madam Tracy.
Yes.
And we saw how the whole story turned out, where she now ended up apologizing. So looking at the justice system being faulty, also looking at the electoral system being faulty, and I believe you are still interested in becoming president of this country. These are two major faculties that can push or pull anyone into power.
Yeah.
What strategy do you have different that you think can guarantee you presidency in 2027 or whenever?
My strategy is you. And you having the consciousness to understand that by themselves, and I'm saying this, I'm not lying, and I will never lie to you, elections cannot bring about change by themselves in Nigeria. You can't, the next election has been decided against all of you.
Why would you ever not to see a vote? More than you wouldn't confirm it. They decide each other.
You like it or not, nobody knows more about this because I formed the political parties in 2018. And we know where elections are going even before we go into this election. And that was the reason why I called for a revolution. I'm sorry about those of you who are shaking your heads about revolution. Only a revolution can deliver this country. But the revolution might happen through the ballots if they know you are determined. But it might happen the other way if they also know you are determined. I've always said it, and I've been charged before the Federal High Court for treason, that I wanted to overthrow the government. I never deny it. Anybody who is not willing to overthrow the current system is mentally sick because the system is rigged against you. And as a result, my participation in elections, and I've said this for those who might have heard me several times, is not to win the elections alone. It's to keep telling you the flaws in the election so that you too can wake up and see what I see and try to do what I do. I believe that we have enough people in this country, young people, who can change the trajectory of this country, but they just have to say enough is enough. And by the next day, you have a different country. If you are still afraid that if you fight, you don't know how it will end, if you don't take the fight to them, they will take the fight to you. And it's happening already. Most of you already know that most of your cities are under siege. It just hasn't touched your house yet. If the kidnappers is not close to you, the bandit is close to you, or the terrorists is close to you. And the biggest terrorism group in Nigeria is the Nigerian government, at any rate. They will kill you at the slightest provocation or no provocation at all. If anyone is in doubt, those of you who participated in NSAS, you know what they did, and nothing happened after that. But what I'm saying is that it has to be a combination of factors. If they are planning election, you can participate, but you don't need to participate. But you can decide and elect that you want to change your country. That in itself is an election. And that can happen in any form or shape possible. As Malcolm X said, by any means necessary.
Thank you.
And trust me, one last thing I'll say. If you guys think you are too fine, beautiful, not to do it, some other people will do it for you. It might just be that you might end up with your beauty in a refugee camp. And it's not a nice place to look pretty. So you better do it now in a very peaceful, well-organized way. Get these guys out of the way and have the breathing space and the oxygen to develop and prosper. That's all I ask for.
How do you respond to the people who say you indirectly help this current government, like dividing the opposition? What do you say about it?
The reason I say this name is not to insult you, is that when you are talking about opposition, the opposition must define what they are opposed to. If the opposition is not opposed to corruption, it's not opposition. If the opposition is not opposed to election rigging, it's not opposition. If the opposition is the same people you were opposed to in 2023 and 2020.
You can't go the youth. You can't go the youth. I want to youth in Mazi. You can't go the youth. That is the truth. You can't go the youth.
22, who you call the criminal, what do they call it? The structure of criminality. Then you are not in opposition. I cannot claim to be an opposition to a system that I'm part of. Thieves cannot oppose thieves. That's the truth, because they know themselves. You see, to oppose a bad system, you need one very important currency: integrity. If you have no integrity, there is no.
I believe na obodo Bongo dị mma ka abụ president. Mana ọ na ha agwaghị na obodo Bongo ama ndị mma through ballot na-atụsịa na vote. Mana iwe na ọ ka ya rụkwa through ballot ma ndị politicians for the masses dey serious.
You can oppose them. I give you the example of the governor of Bauchi who just joined the APC yesterday. People are saying that, oh, he got tired. No, they had his accountant general under trial. And he just took the advice of Oshiomhole that if you don't want problem with the ruling party, go and join them. And that's, it's conventional wisdom that man knowing that he's a thief has to go and join his fellow thieves so that he can be saved from the embarrassment of being dragged through the federal. I was in the same federal high court 2 weeks ago with his accountant general. His case is not going well. So the man decided to join. But you are going to call that opposition before he joins. You used to call Bala Mohammed opposition, right? You are going to call Babashiru Lawal, the grass cutter man, opposition. You are going to call Amechi opposition to me. You are going to call Malami opposition to me. You are going to call El Rufai.
They are the same people. The same people.
Position to me. I mean, who are you deceiving? How about Peter Obi? You have always brought Peter Obi up. The way to know Peter Obi is where he is today. Tell me your friends, I will tell you who you are.
Exactly. He is a distraction. Ebo no de abu president or vice president or whoever. Any we at all, any political party. Is that the characteristics of a savior? The answer is no. A savior was the okwechiri na. Mana onye nka ọ na-anya ọ dị ya ka ọ bụ kedu this their political party there. LOP, Labour Party. Ọ dị ya ka Labour Party or Ethiopia or married Labour Party. Ọ dị ya ka Labour Party adala side or mamta or J coalition. He is a distraction. He cannot stand boldly saying Bongorians come a protest. He don't have the box. He cannot.
It's as simple as that. If you have to exist, and the only people you can exist with in the political system are thieves that you identified to us as big thieves in 2022, and you are now the treasurer of the thieves, don't tell me that you don't like thieves.
Okay.
If you are the treasurer of killers, don't tell me that you don't like killing people. But as always challenged most of you, why don't you for one day just see Peter? You have Peter Obi in your midst. I saw him here. Ask him, when you were governor for 8 years, why didn't you build Anambra like Dubai?
Okay.
So that all of us can go and be spending weekends there.
Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Very simple. Why Anambra like Dubai? Very simple question. at least a na-ekwu okwu settle area vote na na-asị na onye arụ Dubai la Anambra mara nothing mana ọ chọrọ ka atụ area vote na general election.
I would love to be in Anambra. I just came from Aba 3 days ago to protest. Some guy there who is a member of the Labour Party claims that he has transformed Aba. That's Alex Oti. You understand? But I went to Aba, some transformed, partly not transformed. I don't believe in half transformation. Because when you enter into Ariara market, which is the biggest economic hub there, the place looks like Jurassic Park. But when you get to the main road, of course, there's some, but mine is total. And I'm just answering you truthfully, because some of you will come back later and say, well, we wish we listened to you when you told us the truth. And my nature is that I tell the truth, and when I'm done, I will leave. It's up to you to accept or reject my hypothesis. But my hypothesis about the ADC is that just look at the roll call. David Mark, who has just been removed as the leader of the APC and replaced with Tinubu's person. David Mark was the governor of Niger State when I was in secondary school.
Okay.
1983 and 84 or so, under Buhari, when they were doing environmental sanitation. That Lagos just now reintroduced. That's why you know that people have no sense in government. What I'm trying to tell you is that you can't just tell yourself the truth. Do you want to keep recycling failure, or do you want to get rid of failure from your system and put? It might take a little longer, but we can put a system in place that makes this country compete with any country, if not in the USA or Europe, at least South Africa. At least South Africa.
Okay. About you, and I saw that you've been doing this protest of the thing from your SUG days, and right now it's still happening. But I have not seen where you protested and achieved for that very protest. You protest, bring people out, you don't achieve an aim for that protest. That one will end, and you move on to another new protest. Why do you always bring people out, and when they throw tear gas, you'll be the one running, shouting revolution now? Are you
imagine? Oga never save until on one. Ibrahimana no be savior. Bongorians. When they throw tear gas, will be the first to run.
Are you trying to motivate the people to start a war, or you are trying to? Because I personally don't think you're fighting for the people. I think you're fighting for yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Because in 2019, you were interviewed by Ebuka. And he asked you, why do you think you are qualified to be president? You told him that Ms. Mandela came out of prison as an activist and he became president. You made the instance of Obama, and you said you have done more than that. So you are qualified to be president. And right now you are still protesting. You didn't do the Igbo protest in Abuja or Lagos where people are saying, so you went to Aba to gather Igbo people. Is it that you are trying to put it in them to understand that they need this war?
Okay, thank you. Well, let me activism and content creation. I appreciate it because that means it has content. Yes.
I mean, AI can now build a website in 90 seconds, while the only AI most people over 40 know is ChatGPT.
With regards to your reference to Igbo people in Aba, Nnamdi Kanu is from Abia State, but I don't know how much of recent history you know. The first anti-Nnamdi Kanu's trial protest took place in Abuja, and I led it. In fact, I ended up in prison for 4 days because of that protest. That was in October of 2025. Now, talking about results, I was the one who protested for the woman who just got 110 million naira from a minister. That's result. I protested last year on behalf of policemen. 74,000 of them got promoted. That's result. I protested against an IG of police who was removed. It has never happened before that an individual ever protested an IG of police and he was removed. But most importantly, when I was in my SUG days, I was one of the people that protested for the democracy you are enjoying today. That's results. 1999, we fought from 1989 when I arrived at university. By 1999, 10 years later, democracy came to
Upon how many years in on ago? Today, to whatever gather mara that worst corner. Again, Megan on name on wake up, get your ID. Nashine G, Nashinabo.
Nigeria. Am I proud of the democracy? No. But did we end military rule, which was the goal of our protest? Yes. Have you heard about third term, Obasanjo's third term? I protested against third term. That's why he had 2 terms. Have you heard about Yaradua, who was holding Jonathan to ransom? I protested to get him out of the way so that Jonathan, a southerner from Ijaw nation, can become president of this nation for the first time. That's results. I've done so many protests that brought results. And what I want to enjoy you to do, if my protest is not satisfactory to you, start your own.
Exactly.
Yes, that's the best.
Very simple. Start your own. Stop complaining. Over ID, USB, degree, is not fake. We don't issue with ID. At least, can I compare? Can I? Very simple. Now, these days, I will be diving into Bongorian analysis. So, where I not join if I am. Over an ID, and all the other your own. You can write your own ID, Briggy. Borism Baga to Yanoko. Make we check something. Man, he made it to and keep Briggy Noko or welfare no, but on a USB declared. If the protest is not enough, start your own.
So, and one last thing I will say is that please do not insult content creation. Those content creators, some of them are genius people. They are not. They just don't wake up and create content that make you laugh. In a country where things are hard, it's difficult to make people laugh. Exactly. So content creation is actually creativity that is driven by a genius in a human brain. I'm just saying that. But again, thank you. And I respect your right to state what you have stated. And I hope I was able to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're coming out as a candidate for the next election, right? Next presidency election.
These are Bongorians and Azaz the mean. No. Look at them all. Bongorians and Azaz the mean. Anya Fadena, the minister, the liars and deceivers, the corrupt politicians ever Anya Fadena.
I just want to know, how do you plan to defend your votes? Or rather, how do you plan to defend the votes, considering this was a very big issue in the last election? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I could say something to you about votes and defending votes. I might take you too far into history. When in 1993, a man known as Abiola in this country, billionaire, defeated his opponent, but his billions could not save him. It was myself and some young people in the SUG days that helped him defend his votes. And that vote did not materialize, but it wasn't because we didn't fight. It was because we didn't have enough people fighting hard enough. To talk about defending my vote, when I was here the last time, some person stood up, some friend, he became my friend later, and said, how are you going to defend your vote? And my answer was simple, and I'm serious about this. If I was the one who won any election, if I'm not declared the winner, there's nobody who didn't win the election that can be declared the winner, who can stay in that office. If we take my life, I'll give it. You see, the problem with the defense of the votes last time was that, and I'll give it to every one of you who were involved in that, you were ready to give your life, but your leaders were not willing to do anything.
Exactly. They ask Obi, get the next thing to do. Can we protest? Obi Asimba. Neanaga through court. And yes, that is a confirmation. Obi be a distraction. Now, Obi Arapugo, Labour Party, LOP, join a coalition. Uruguay coalition now, where he fell. If you ask him, he will ask you to leave it. He will go through court. Who is following who? All of them, they're very, very corrupt.
And without leadership, you cannot achieve victory of that dimension. Not a single hand was raised. I even volunteered, and I'm saying this, you can ask Dele Farutimi, that if the person who claimed to win that vote is willing to lead the protest, I will go out and be part of it. But I'm not going to lead your protest for you so that you can mock me by going to a meeting with the people who are taking the mantle from you.
The same thing, now. A mechara protest. The woman up questioning for settlement. Now the woman is
I'm talking about Abiola again. The only reason why we followed Abiola was because Abiola was willing to die for his mandate. And he did die for his mandate. Anybody who is not willing to die for his mandate is not worth voting for in any election, even if it is class captain. Because there's nowhere in the world that power is given to people on the platter of gold. You have to, you ask for it, you fight for it, you either live or die for it. That's nature of power. And the people you are dealing with were ready to kill for it. They had MC Oluomo, who was killing for it. Now they have brought out Sunday Igboho, who is going to be willing to kill for it. So you must have people on your own side too, who are willing to die for it. And then it will be 0-0, as they say, go let's draw.
Okay, sir, from your speech,
yes.
So you admit that Peter Obi won the election, but he didn't fight for it. Is that what
if you can't fight for something, how can you declare you want something that you can't fight for?
Okay.
That was the problem. He didn't stand up to even tell anybody that he won. There's nowhere today, apart from asking you guys to look at the judiciary. I'm just coming from the judiciary.
They are all corrupt and they cannot save you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is blameless. That is why he can stand before them and talk to them anyhow, because he owed them no apology. Emara, that in Imagoria, come out and say it. But all these people, oh, leave it, let us go to court. The case matter is still in court, distraction.
You can look at the judiciary all you want. The best thing that can happen to your eyes is you will catch Apollo. That's all. But if the judiciary knows.
Thank you for this history. From APGA to PDP to Labour Party, now coalition. A savior stand one place. A savior stand one place so that he will not be confused.
That there's war outside, they will rule according to the wish of the people. I'm not among those people who want to go to heaven. I don't even plan to go to heaven.
Let's look at this.
Because it's part of how they deceive you and make you not do anything. If God wanted man to be in heaven, he wouldn't have created earth. He created the earth so that you can enjoy it. Then these pastorpreneurs will now transfer your illusions to another thing. Go ahead, take it.
That they have mind of their own. How do you think it's going to be easy to convince them to come out and fight for protest? We all know protest no longer works. There's no amount of protest that people have been doing that is yielding. Take, for instance, the one that happened when PK or the FCT paid people's salary. It didn't work. It didn't yield. The amendment of the election is still being viewed. All of a sudden, overnight, they came and announced. And what happened? Now, people need what they call assurance. We are all angry and eager to fight for our mandate. But people are scared to lay down their life. Because what if I come out, fight for my rights, and then I am killed? I died. What is going to happen?
Okay.
Who's going to come out and lead us? Thank you, sir.
ID USB. To fight for Bongorians.
There's nobody, I like what you are saying. If you are a Nigerian, and listen to me properly, you are going to die anyways. Yes. So you better choose something to die for that will make you even proud when you are dying, that I chose to die for something. It's a matter of time, and I mean time. If things keep going the way it is, that you start dying for nothing. when you talk about protests, if a protest is unsuccessful, it is because there are not enough people who are participating in the protest. If a protest wants to be successful, just let everybody leave whatever they are doing. Go out. A protest done by everybody on the same day is called a revolution. But if you are still in doubt that whether somebody will carry on after you die or not, you are not ready. All these things you call protests are not protests. Some of the protests we are even talking about are organized by our enemies to make us feel that they have opposition.
Some of the protests, the organizers is the enemy to make us feel or to make you feel that you have enemies. So, for one coalition of lovers of freedom. So, where you politicians may organize to deceive you.
But the kind of protest we need is a protest of everybody. Look at the number of people in this country, in this room, who are listening to beautiful speech. If you step out of the streets just to walk to the next bus stop, the country will start shaking. There are not less than 200 people in this room. But if we call for a protest now, half of you will be preaching to have, not to go out. And you are wondering why protests don't succeed. We must all agree that to get and take back our country, we must be willing to put our boots on the ground. And when that happens, there is nobody, and I can tell you categorically because I've been in small and big protests before, that nobody will wait and want to know what 100,000 people are going to do if they are all marching in Abuja. You all saw it. At least you have tested protests through NSAS. The reason why NSAS fail, I keep telling you, is that we had the wrong set of leaders for NSAS who weren't willing to die. They were more interested in the publicity. Otherwise, we were just a few weeks or steps from the Aso Rock itself. Soldiers were already removing their uniform in this Abuja. Governors were calling that their policemen were no longer reporting to duty. People had already started to immerse themselves in the future. But then you had people who were having conversation on the ground. We should not just lie about it with Dangote and the rest of them on Zoom discussing how to end the protest. And that they didn't want a revolution, they only wanted the end of police brutality. Did people participate in it because of police brutality? You know? The reason why NSAS was successful is because people were tired of the Buhari regime. Simple. But we allowed that to fade away. And we are still here debating. When we are ready, my brother, these people will run away. Okay. You have only 10,000 public officials in Nigeria. You have 200 million people who are afraid of 10,000 people. It doesn't make any sense.
Sorry. Right. So I like what you do. And there's a question I want to ask you about the future of the electoral process in Nigeria. Ever since you've been contesting and all, and you've been contesting from a place of ideas, trying to sensitize people and tell them how bad the country is and how it can get better. And personally, I feel that Nigeria has not gotten to the point of ideological purity in politics, right? Don't you think it's time for you to have an alliance with one of the already existing parties to see how you can probably win the election and have people support you and back you? Let's say maybe pairing with Obi or any other person that you think is a lesser evil. Because they say if you can't beat them, you join them. Just ask it.
Well, this same question I asked from somebody in this room last time I came here. If you can't beat them, you join them. Even the Peter Obi that you keep talking about, that will pair with, Obi has already paired with people who are also unpairing from him. Very soon now, you guys will find out that Obi doesn't even have a political party. That's the truth. Because the ADC that he was lured into, they are mostly, the ADC is owned 100% by Atiku. Okay. And the only available position there is the vice presidency, which I heard Amechi has already taken. Okay. Is there a second vice president for the South in the ADC? But that's not the issue. What I keep telling people is that there is alliance of the old. The only alliance we have not created is the alliance of the new, of the oppressed. Because a lot of you are still distanced from politics. Politics to you still looks like something done by dirty people and should be left for dirty people. You are only part of the conversation about politics and leadership you have not inserted and immersed yourself ambitiously into politics. The reason I'm saying so is that you go and review your participation in 2022, which is what most of you claim credit for. You joined the Labour Party. Some of you didn't join. You invested your time, your energy. Some of you invested your lives. What did you produce? Senators that were Labour Party who are now in APC. House of Rep members that are in Labour Party who are now in APC. So there's a place for ideological purity. If the people you presented in 2022 and 2023, who became your senators and House of Rep members, were ideologically aligned with your own aspirations, they will not be in APC today. They would have been the bedrock of the people we can rely upon to help us fight for electoral integrity in the House, in the Senate. But how many of them are still with you today? None. Not a single one. Even Alex Otti, that is still in Labour Party, is closer to Tinubu than the man in Imo. They are friends.
Okay.
I think he's only staying in Labour Party, waiting to see, because I'm telling you this because Alex Otti is my friend, personal friend. But I don't meet anybody who is in power at the moment. I let them do what they have to do. And just accept that lack of ideological purity in your perception, participation in party politics will always rob you of the opportunity, and will only create opportunists that will exploit your sweat, your efforts and energy and squander them, which is what has happened to the Labour Party. Ask yourself, what happened to your Labour Party? Are you still in charge of your Labour Party?
Okay.
Can you recognize Labour Party today if you see it? But were you not the guys who were telling us that if we don't join Labour Party in 2022 and 2023, that we have committed the heresy?
LOP
not inside the system. So knowing that, my question is, if you're in a position dealing with the same realities that Peter will be dealing with now, what would you do differently? And do you think there's any path for you people to work together, or would you allow him to come to your party?
Make a move with Hostinger's sale. For just 6,900 Naira a month, get AI managed VPS from Hostinger.
You can join online. It's free. But the problem is that if you join our party online, you have to undergo ideological immersion. Actually, you have to join groups and be trained to understand what the party is about. And if Peter Obi wants to join our party, he has to join online. And then he has to join the classes that will discuss with him how to purge himself of his PDP days, of his Labour Party days, of all the alliances and the relationship he's had that did not work, which I'm sure he's not ready for. So because I notice that so many of you like to give excuses on his behalf. That is not the issue. It's not going to save the situation. What we are about is what we have defined. Our party was created or established in 2018. It's one of the only few 18 political parties in Nigeria that is still standing today. So to join the party, your agenda must align with that of the party. Your aspirations must be liberation motivated. You cannot just join the party hoping that you buy the form of the party, win an election, and the next day you have jumped to the enemy party that we say we don't want to be part of. So that is the problem. The other part you mentioned, which I'll answer very quickly. All of you keep saying you have to go inside and be part. Ask yourself, what happened to Kenyamo? The inside is the cemetery of the human conscience. All the people that have gone inside, have you not lost them? You have lost contact with them, like people have lost contact with our stars in the Milky Galaxy. You can't find an Oshiomhole anymore, even though that one was never genuine. I say it before everybody. But how many people have you sent to work from the inside that is still with you today? So the inside is not for us. The outside that can change things is where we belong.
No underground worker. We are in charge. Well,
the last question is, what would I advise Peter Obi? Ask him to call me. He has my number.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. We'll continue on at this level. Go and get your own ID. Do not recycle failure. Continue and keep doing the right thing. No gela adeganya, recognition will come. You must fight for this recognition as if it is coming next week or next 4 days or next 3 days. Fight for it. Omaka Stay blessed. Join us in some hours time as we continue. Bye for now.